advantage that he was on the winning team. I think it was a huge advantage that Barry was on the team. I think he's great. When I first started watching the first few episodes, I was afraid of him, but now I actually like him. You know, he's kind of a lovable Irish rogue, if you like. He's that type of guy, and you could see that he was enjoying it. He was getting down and enjoying it with the kids and playing the games, and I think that was a huge advantage, more so than Dave being working in the events company.
John, for you, who stood out?
Barry seems to like everybody, doesn't he? He constantly kind of bigs everyone's most positive aspects up, but then he's a little weird with Michelle, and I wonder, maybe she's very protective and selfish with her knees, maybe she doesn't allow Barry any knee access whatsoever in the house, and his little hands are yearning for a feel of them, but
well, he's actually, maybe it's not getting access to her knees, but he's managed to come up with this whole new English term to describe his relationship with Michelle. Here it is.
Yeah, Michelle, she's okay as a project manager. I mean, I think she's a bit forceful now, a bit dictatorship-y. If that's a word, dictatorship-y.
Yeah, I don't want to sound dictatorial, but someone should come up with a word for that. What about Panos? Do you think Panos could be a winner, John?
A few episodes back he said, I'd love it if we went camping, and because I was in the Greek military and I'd bring a knife and the only person to come back would be myself, which I thought was the most honest thing I've heard out of any contestant, Yeah, I would have loved it if he'd turned to the camera with a real kind of...
But then in this episode he's afraid of paint.
Yeah,
this is not a trained
the white
killer.
Paint all over his face.
Freddie, you want to
know, is he?
No, I was going to say, I think Panos is a great people person. I think people love him. I think they get on really well with him. I'd worry about the weaker side of him, so his sore neck one week, scared of paint another week, scared of Ryobi tools another week, scared of labour work.
He's getting a reputation, and Najat, you might fill us in. He's getting a reputation as a messer, as not really caring.
Yeah, I said on that episode he's a really intelligent guy, but he can be a messer at times. But I think you haven't seen fully what Panos is capable of. He really has a lot of business acumen, and he does bring a lot to it, especially on this task. He was the guy that was there all day, when it should have been Will that I should have seen. That is his personality, what you see, but I suppose you're just seeing a little bit more of his personality than what he can do.
But under that there is hard work, dedication.
Yeah, and hopefully I think in the next couple of episodes, hopefully you do get to see what he is capable of. And definitely in this boardroom as well this week, he was fighting. You could see me just sitting there, and I was like not interjecting on that. Panos, his Greek military came out, and I was just like, oh, he's on fire. I think he really came out of himself this week.
Is he playing to the cameras? The scene where he's holding the pole
and Jamie's
for Jane, yeah, and he's saying, I was on my knees holding the pole,
finding every available euphemism,
and you're kind of going, it's kind of like the dialogue from a gay porn, And
really, I wouldn't know.
Yeah. It was at one time, it was a mistake. It was a mistake.
Wrong DVD.
Guys, every night we have a clip, which is the no-nonsense.ie clip of the week, which is some candidate talking complete and utter rubbish. Now, in this one, Najat is in it, but it involves using a megaphone. The candidates were given a megaphone, and one of them couldn't work out how to use it. Can you guess who couldn't use it? Got it in one. Here's Panos in the no-nonsense clip of the week.
Can you open this? You use this every day in work and you can't open it?
I don't. Do you think I use this at work at Google? I go around, hey, hello people, good morning.
It's a
One, two,
the black thing?
1, 2, 1, 2. Why is it not working on me?
How are you doing?
Hello.
Can I just ask something?
Yes, sir.
Are we on camera?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you want to speak into the microphone?
We are on camera, obviously.
You have been for the last 4 weeks, man.
I'm not saying anything.
Go on.
No.
No, you're not. No, turn off the camera there for a second, Mick.
Nothing. Cheers.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I believe him now. Believe me, Mickey. Ask me, bollocks. Hey, Mickey, you're so fun, you blew my mind, Mickey. It's working.
Can't get in touch.
Jack is there.
Oh, I'm fired.
pushing it. Oh, I'm slagging you now.
Jeez.
Did Jackie get all of that?
Jackie got all of that.
Oh, no.
She's already reported back to Bill.
I was not. I'm done speaking English.
Guys, just to clarify, it just needed batteries. There was nothing actually technically wrong with it. And apparently Panos, it's not the first time that he has sung to Mick the Cameraman. Mick the Cameraman apparently was quite popular with Panos. The one that we haven't talked about much so far, other than seeing him try to pull off his own ears, is Will. Brian, your views on Will?
He should have gone. He definitely should have gone. I don't think you should have gone this week. I think Will should have gone. I think he's very weak. I think, you know, when somebody else on your team just doesn't even give you a call and say, listen, I'm going to spend more money on something, like, that's Will's call. And Will should have lifted. Who was it that spent the extra money on leaflets? Jamie. Like, you know, Jamie should have been lifted out of it by Will, and he wasn't.
Greta, you're nodding?
Yeah, I think Will made a big mistake in this task, and I think it's a bit unfair that Najat is here, as Will could easily have gone, as Brian said.
But is it just this task, or generally? Do you rate Will across the board?
I hadn't rated him, no, and I think this was his opportunity to prove himself as project manager, and I think he let himself down. So arriving half an hour after the event had started in Timahoe is not, you know, good enough as a project manager. So I think for me it was a test for him. He comes across quite stressed, he comes across quite panicked. I haven't seen anything yet to believe that he could win it.
John?
He's a real grafter, and you would be, like I really empathise. Like, it is very nerve-wracking when you're sitting there with the cameras rolling and everyone's looking, and you got to fight for yourself and boast as well. You have to say, the reason I have to stay is because I'm brilliant at this.
You know, like when Bill says, oh, why shouldn't I fire you, blank.
Yeah.
And it's just, and you come out with, I'm a real hard worker, and you just come up with that, you know, that basic couple of words, and you can hear us coming.
Money, Bill.
Yes, I'll earn you loads of money. I'm an asset, and you can hear it coming out, and you're like.
Well, what about Will? Is Will an asset? Would he make Bill money?
I think he could be moulded into something. He hasn't maybe come across as strong on that one. As a project manager, he was a bit panicky and a bit
Is that
flighty.
a nice way to say no, he's not going to make it?
I'm not sure. You know, if he gets stronger, you know, he's definitely in with a chance. You know, it's left to be seen.
He does come across a good sales guy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And that seems to be what Bill wants, you know. And
he also has
a
unique capacity as well, which is he's creating business buzzwords. He seems to have decided that business is about shaking trees.
Obviously, shaking the trees is paramount in organising this event.
Today is just about shaking the trees and getting the word out primarily.
Yeah.
Obviously, in this task, it's paramount to be shaking the trees. You know, I'm obviously going to be staying here, guys, and the other 3 people I want out shaking the trees. The split is going to be 3 and 2. Okay, I want 3 out shaking the trees, right? And Bill obviously shaking the trees, as I say, and obviously himself says as well.
So, how did you divide your team, Will?
The guys behind me, their job was to go out and shake the trees, for want of a better word.
It's extraordinary, Jackie, isn't it?
I think possibly the team who went out to, if you like, shake the trees, as he says himself, didn't shake a whole lot of branches.
But they didn't even found the trees.
I don't think they found the trees, no.
Shake it all over.
Well, we're going to take a quick break and go wobble a hedge. When we come back, Najat has said that there are 6 people who don't deserve to be in there and that Michelle is in it for the fame. We'll find out why. Back in 3. And you're welcome back to the right venue and to the Apprentice. You're fired. Najat, when she left in the car after the boardroom, said that there were a number of people who shouldn't be in there, and that Michelle was only in it for the fame. Michelle is in it for the fame, says who?
My rant at the end, oh God, I saw it, I went, oh, shut up, Najat. But, you know, it does come across as being harsh.
Yeah, but does Michelle want the gig, or is she in it for the fame?
What I said, you know, is harsh, but it's what I felt at that particular time. I really, really wanted it. You know, I had gone for it, you know, the previous year. I was in the car, upset and bitter that I was going home.
But on what did you base the view? Had she said anything?
It was just hearsay, you know, that was in the house. And what I said was, you know, topics of conversation that were going on in the house. And that obviously...
Like what?
That, you know, people were unsure whether, you know, she did want the job. But, you know, and then when you watch it then from watching back the episodes every week, she is definitely a very strong contender in it, and she couldn't be that strong unless she did want it.